Hi guys, welcome to Daddy and the Dom. We're here today previewing Wolves vs Brentford. Before I get to Jay, who I spoke to earlier on, I'm here with two other guests. Of course, it's the Waller girls, Laura and Ella. Hello girls.
Hi Graham. Hi.
So I'm not going to keep you too long. Starting off with you, Laura. Disappointing loss last time out to Brighton. How do the boys recover and get the result that they need here?
Well, speaking to my dad as he was at the game, he said that they all looked really disappointed at the game. They came together in the centre circle to have, a post-match discussion, and he said they looked downhearted. But you've got to go forward. You've got to finish the game and then go on to the next game. Every game's different, and you've just got to go into it with a positive mindset and, for the result that you need.
Ella, Wolves away next game. Can you see Brentford getting a draw or a win in this game? Is that possible?
I think so. I don't know too much about Wolves, but I think we'll have a chance of winning, I guess.
They won last time out against Watford, first points of the season. They have a few good players, a guy called Troy. If Brentford keep him quiet, is it more likely that they can at least get a point then? Or maybe even three?
Maybe. Aren't they the team that has Connor Cody?
Yes, that's correct. They have Connor Cody. He's a good player. He's going to be hard to get past Connor Cody. He's an England international. Just going back to you, Laura. Obviously, the next 5 games, not in any particular order, are Wolves, Liverpool, West Ham, Leicester and Chelsea.
Yeah.
This game it has to be a 3-pointer, surely?
Yeah, like looking at our fixtures, the next 5 fixtures, like you said, looking back, Brighton should have been a win, and looking at Wolves, that is the team that we're looking to get a result against. So being positive, let's hope that's what we achieve.
Ella, Ivan Toney, he's working his socks off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he can get a goal in this game?
Yeah, he had quite a few attempts against Brighton, but I think he will actually score this game.
Yeah, Brian Mbemo, he's really looking sharp, but another one who still hasn't scored yet. What does he need to do to get that goal, his first Premier League goal?
Maybe.
Better finishing, maybe?
Yeah.
Just keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Keep doing what he's doing. Don't you agree, Ella?
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
So, how did Brentford approach this game against Wolves away from home, Laura?
I think we're playing good football, but it's our attacking. We need to go forward and just keep pushing. We need a bit more magic with finishing. So that's what I believe. We need to go attacking and aim for this win.
Maybe a change of formation, possibly. Maybe go 4-3-3.
Mhm.
That means Canos might not play.
No.
Every game.
Canos is my favourite player.
Okay. Ella, how did Brentford approach this game?
Maybe more confidently and more attack. Have a more attacking side to them.
Yeah. And do you think the first goal is vital?
Yeah, I think if we score first, so if it's a 2-1 victory to us, if we score first, that might give us more confidence. Okay,
ladies, thank you for your time. Before I go to your predictions, I'm going to now go to Jay. Jay Buckner-Pigner spoke to me earlier on today, and this is what he had to say to me. Okay, hello Jay, thanks for coming back on. So before I ask about the upcoming game, just briefly, your thoughts on the previous game, disappointing defeat of Brighton. How do you think the team played, and where do you think the game was lost in the end?
Hi Graham, thanks for having me back. I think we played okay yesterday. I was at the game, obviously. I think we're a bit narrow at the moment. Like, we let them have the ball in wide areas, and they kind of just pass through our midfield. So Basuma, we let have far too much time on the ball, I think, yesterday, because especially in the second half, he was just dictating play, knocking balls over the top. And he just looked a real threat with his link-up play with Mulpai and Toussaint's, all very good players. Like Thomas Franks said before the game, Brighton, a well-established team. Third year, Graham Potter's been there. No real changes like the other teams that we played, going through a bit of a transitional period. So a real good test against a Premier League side that we can go, right, we've got a benchmark, a more realistic benchmark to go against now. We know Brighton are gonna, I think they'll be clear of relegation. I think they'll be comfortably mid-table from their performance yesterday. I think last year they conceded quite a few, not very many goals, and had a really high XG, but didn't convert those chances. So it's probably one of those years where they got a bit unlucky. So yeah, we've come up against a real good side who gave us a real test. It's very frustrating to lose it in the last minute, or minutes. But I think it's just one we've got to take on the chin. The most frustrating part is that we're going into a run of 4 games where we could potentially lose all 4, and that's 5 losses on a bounce. It might not happen. Yeah, we've got some home games in there. I think the lads have got a lot more to give. I don't think we've seen the best out of them yet. So yeah, I think it was lost in the middle of the park yesterday. I think not starting Frank Onyeka was a little bit of a mistake. I think we've just had a rest period, so it's not like the Championship where they played probably almost a double amount of games that we have at the moment. Like, the Premiership is a lot different. We used to games week in, week out, and to be honest, I've been waiting for games for a little bit, to be honest. This was only our second home game, and we're in week 4. So yeah, we're definitely used to a bigger schedule. I think that will help in injuries terms. Pontus got a knock yesterday, and I was thinking, like, shit, we've not got a lot of cover here apart from a new lad that's come in. So yeah.
Okay, Wolves next then. Briefly on them. How do you think they're going to play, and who's their biggest threat, and how are you going to neutralise them?
Yeah, Wolves, a very good team. Again, like a lot of the teams we play, they're established teams. They're not teams that yo-yo a lot. They've got a lot of quality throughout their squad. They can beat the big boys, and they comfortably beat the boys that come up. So we saw at Watford yesterday, Wolves was pretty comprehensive 2-0 away win, isn't it? Biggest threat is the pace up front of Traore. I don't think his finishing is the best. Don't get it wrong, he's still a great player. And in the middle of the park, Moutinho and Neves. We have come up against Neves before in the Championship a few years ago when he was absolutely bossing it, smashing 40-yard screamers like it was a joke. So yeah, the middle of the park is going to be another battle that we're going to have to face. But there's a lot of positives for us at the moment. We've conceded 2 goals. 2 away games. We only conceded 1 at Villa, nothing at Palace. Palace just beat Tottenham, so shows how volatile this league is, that if you're not on it every single week, you can get punished. And I think the 2 goals we've conceded, Buendia, we've always given him too much time. When he's played for Norwich, he's always scored against us. And then the same with Toussaint's yesterday is what a finish. And that's the difference between the Prem and the Championship, that those types of players can spring up. And that's probably what we have to add to our game at the moment, is that bit of quality in the final third.
So how do you see Thomas Frank lining up? I know you spoke to me recently. You're saying it's not attacking enough. Is there any certain players you'll bring in, and would you now change the formation, seeing that, scoring goals seems to be a bit of an issue as of late?
So in terms of goals coming hard to come by, 2 against Arsenal, 1 away at Villa. I'm fairly happy with that after 4 games, to truth be told. I think last 2 seasons we've scored 70 plus goals each year. It's not going to happen this year. We're going to have to definitely be more clinical in front of goal. Brian had a couple of chances yesterday, which we'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, in terms of formation, I would go 4-2-3-1. Put Matthias Jensen, Sergi on the left, Brian on the right, Ivan up top. So Ivan get in that 6-yard box, and do what he's best at, which is finishing in the 6-yard box. I think his goals last year was penalties and 6-yard box finishes, which is exactly what a poacher striker is meant to do. We get crosses into the box, and we didn't see that yesterday. I think we had one corner, which shows kind of the penetration where everything is very central, and we're either getting a shot away and missing, or it's just going out for a goal kick. So yeah, I'd get Jensen in there. Then it's kind of a battle between Norgard, Onyeka and Vitali. I personally think Norgard hasn't been at his best so far from what we've seen pre-injury. I would start Onyeka and Vitali. I think they've both been really good for us. They harry well, they press well. Not that Norgard doesn't do that, but I mean it's between three very good centre defensive mid players. So yeah.
Briefly on Brian and Bemo, I'm a very big fan of him, but even though he is playing well and sharp, he's not finishing. Would you give him a rest, or would you keep going with him and hopefully he finds his shooting boots?
Yeah, I agree. Brian's a fantastic player. In terms of resting him, I just don't think it's needed. We're in the Prem now. If we're putting away every chance that we get, then we're beating a lot of teams. So I think it's probably realistic him missing those opportunities, because it does show the level that we're at, and that's not condescending at all. It just shows that the Prem is tough and we have got a long way to go. Fourth game in, like I say before, we've just played a very well established Premier League team. Brian should have definitely finished one of those two opportunities he had, if not both. They were practicing those before the game. So yeah, it's a tough one, because if we're saying he should be finishing chances, well, we should be winning more games. And is that really realistic? It should be, but this is the Prem now. And like I've said in previous videos, it's going to be really tough. And we are going to be in a relegation battle of sorts, whether that's us on the last day of the season hoping for a win, or whether we've just been there or thereabouts, keeping our head above water. It's obviously what's going to happen. I think the club were a bit naive in not signing someone of real quality. Not that any of the signings we have been quality, but I mean, Mateus Pereira, me and you have spoken about him before. I think he was a massive miss. He's gone for 17 million. Surely the club could have forked that out. I know his wages are really high, but fantastic player for West Brom last year, and they were shit. So yeah, I think we missed a big opportunity there from the club being a bit too rigid in its approach. I get that they have to be conservative to some degree, and they use their statistical analysis and approach. But yeah, I think Mateus Pereira would give us that option that we're missing at the moment, and not relying on Brian and Tony too much, because like I say, we don't have enough width in the wings.
Okay, so how do you approach this game? Realistically, what do you expect, and what would Thomas Frank be aiming to get out of this game? Is this a draw, or can you sneak a win?
So we saw from Wolves yesterday, they beat Watford pretty convincingly away from home. Obviously, Watford came up with us, or we went up with Watford because they finished above us. So yeah, it's going to be a real test. Everything is a real test in the Prem. It's probably a word we're going to use a lot. Can we win it? Yeah, I can believe we can win a lot of games in the Premiership, as long as the boys keep focused and kind of, like you say, put away those chances that we do get. But I think a lot of it is nerves. I think Frank tried to do the right things yesterday by bringing on attacking subs. I think the players still look a bit nervous, and they've got to kind of settle into it a bit more. But a buzzing Molineux. I know the away fans will be amazing again. The players have praised them every game so far. So if they can be a 11th and a half man in a big stadium that have got a 12th man in their crowd, then yeah, we'll always look to win. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, thanks, Jay. Give me your score prediction, mate. What do you think the score will be?
I hate doing score predictions. Obviously, you want your own team to win, and I don't want to keep saying draw, because it sounds a bit negative and a bit like we don't have a hope when I think we do. But saying that, I think we probably will draw. I'm always looking for the clean sheet, but we do need to start scoring goals. So if we can go with a 1-1 draw, I'll be more than happy. If it's 2-2, and we get a couple of goals and we pen back, then I don't mind that either.
So you heard from Jay, ladies. You heard his predictions. So starting with you, Laura, Wolves versus Brentford. What do you think the scoreline will be?
You know, I'm always going to go positive and go for my team. Obviously, it'd be different when it's against the real big boys of the Premier League. But, you know, losing at last minute defeat, do you know what? I'm going to go 1-0 to Brentford.
Okay.
And I reckon it could very well be Brian and Bembo.
Thank you, Laura. Ella, what do you think the score prediction will be?
I think it's going to be like what I said before. I think it'll be 2-1 to Brentford.
2-1 to Brentford. Do you have any idea who's going to score?
I think I do agree with Mum. I think Brian will score, but it'll probably be either Ivan Tony to score the second goal, or I think Sergi might make his second goal for the Prem.
There you go. So thank you very much, ladies. Appreciate your time. And thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.